scrappy friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm starting right off here doing some mixed media that I'm going to use in my traveler's notebook spread in just a minute. So I filmed this with intentions of making a reel and ended up not doing that, but I wanted to show you how this came together. So I am using texture paste, Distress brand texture paste, and a Journals for Life Summer Patio leaf stencil. And I am pulling the texture paste down using an old credit card through the stencil so I can get a textured look on my cardstock. Now the texture paste is white and my cardstock is white, and I do want to do a tone on tone effect for this. So when I pull up the stencil, you can see that there's a raised image. So I had put that paper aside to dry. Some time has passed, and I cut out that piece of paper right there into approximately a 4-inch by 8-inch shape. I wanted a small border around the cardstock that I'm going to add into my traveler's notebook. Now, I don't know if I mentioned, this is the Summer Patio June release from Journals for Life. And this is my first project with this kit. The stencil is an add-on for the kit, and when I adhered the cardstock down, you'll see that I did have a small border around the edge. I just wanted the black and white check to poke through slightly around the edge. Now over here on the left side, there are some pre-printed journal boxes. You could put photos in here, journaling, stamping. I am pulling out these heart acrylic pieces that came in the May kit. I had not used them in May, and so I put them in my just general bin of product that I don't use or don't finish up for the month's kit. And they worked perfectly with the flower colors at the top of the page. Kind of a light blue and a pink coral color. So I adhered those down, and I'm going to use those sort of as bullet points to my journaling and my decoration on that side of the page. So now this picture, I'll talk about that for a little bit. This is kind of a funny thing to document, but we just splurged on getting air conditioning installed in our house. Now, I live in the Pacific Northwest of the U.S., and if you know our climate, you know that it generally is not considered to be very warm here. Few years ago, I would say most construction or most houses did not have air conditioning. People are finally starting to install it a little bit because our climate is getting warmer. And unfortunately, in the summers on the eastern part of Washington, I live on the western side, there tends to be a lot of wildfires now. So we get a lot of smoke in August, which is very unfortunate on so many levels. But it does mean we can't open our windows for air circulation. So we finally splurged, got air conditioning, and it was so exciting to turn it on for the first time that I had to take a picture and document it. This whole notebook is going to be about summer adventures and things that we're doing in the summer. So this is one of the first pages that I did. Now, above my picture, I am using one of the geotags. I almost said journal tag, but geotags. Now, it had a bright yellow center, and I did not want to bring yellow onto this page, so I ended up covering it with one of the circle embellishment pieces that says Summer Days. I am now pulling out one of my distressed oxide colors in gray. I think it's called Hickory Smoke, if I remember correctly. And it is the same gray as the branches coming off of the flower arrangement. Now, I had just gone to point out how the colors match so well, and I accidentally smeared it a little bit. Generally, these inks dry fairly quickly on these pages, but not instantaneous, so be careful when you put your fingers too close or anything too close. It looks fine now. So it ended up not being too big of a problem. Now what I'm going to do is journal in 2 of the boxes. I wasn't sure how long my story was going to be, and basically I'm just journaling what I told you earlier, is that we had splurged on getting this air conditioning installed, and then it was so exciting when the first warm day came around, we decided to turn it on. Really wasn't that hot. We could have lived without air conditioning on that particular day, but I think the house got up to 75 and we cooled it down to 74. So we were just so excited to use it. And it also felt like the first day of summer. So I was documenting that too, that turning on the air conditioning is the official first day of summer for us. So my story ends up only taking 2 of the journal boxes, and I end up wanting to put some type of decoration or stamping or something in the bottom box. And what I do now is I am pulling out some stamps that I have, trying to figure out what do I want to put in that bottom square. So now I'm pulling over my Journals for Life box. I decided to keep this in because I thought it would be interesting to show you how I organize everything. This is an 8-inch wide refrigerator bin. I put a lot of my dies and stamps into this container, and you earlier saw some kind of clear or white plastic sheets. Those are cutting mats from the dollar store. And I saw that on some other video on YouTube, but I'm not sure exactly who to reference that to. But I bought these cutting boards, cut them down to fit in as dividers, and then marked it with stamps, dies, paper, etc. And then when I want to go back and find one of those items to go into a new spread, I know exactly where to look for it. So here I'm comparing a couple different stamps, and I wanted to use the term gratitude down there, but because the font was so different than the other stamp above, I end up going with one of the stamp sets from the December kit, and it ends up saying joy, and it's a definition of joy, which sort of mirrors the stamp in the top box, which is summer and the definition of summer. The summer stamp came in the kit on this month's stamp set. So I am just setting up the stamp. It just barely fits on my stamp block. And I am just doing a test stamp to make sure it is ready to go. And then I will stamp that in the bottom box. And I think it adds a good balance to the stamping at the top. So now I'm at a point where I think I'm going to be stopping because I think initially I'm thinking the spread's going to be finished here. And I think I even wave goodbye soon, thinking, oh, no, actually, I take that back. I had originally planned to use some of the acrylic pieces, the rainbow or the sun, as paper clips. Now, when I was planning this, my glue gun broke, so I was not able to actually make them. Have to go get a new glue gun. But after playing around with it, I decided that I did not want some bright color up at the right top of this page. I thought I would because of the white tone on tone, but ultimately I didn't want to, so it ended up working out okay that my glue gun broke at an inopportune time. So that's me signing off there, like I was mentioning before. But I do come back because I wanted to pull in some of that peach pink color over to the right side of the spread. And I pulled out these Journal for Life sequins from an older kit. I can't remember what kit they came from, but they look like they're fall colors. So I am thinking it came from last October, November, but that is just a guess. And there are some little bobs, little like half circle embellishments here. And I am just gluing those down into a small cluster of 3. I'm going to play around with some blue similar baubles up at the top, thinking that I'll want another set of kind of sequined cluster, but I end up not going with that. I just like the tone-on-tone white and having all that white space on the page. So basically, after I play around with these, I'm going to realize my page is done. If you have any questions about how this came together, leave me a comment below. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And I hope you enjoy your crafting time today, and check out the Journals for Life kit if you have a moment. Thanks and have a great day.